Hello and welcome to the second concert in our Sunday stream concert series brought to you by Gobe Fest. My name is Attilia and I am the organizer of Gobe Fest and also the host of the concerts. Every 2 weeks, we're in the Wood Rooms in Salford, by the way, and every 2 weeks we bring you the authentic sounds of the Carpathian Basin from some of the most prolific bands around the UK. We also, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be bringing you recorded music and recorded performances from the Carpathian Basin, from bands in Hungary and Romania and Transylvania. But today we are live in the Wood Rooms in Salford and we welcome the FOLKTONE Banda, the most prolific Hungarian band here in the UK, who have been going since 2013. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
How has your journey been to Manchester?
Long. It was long and rainy and windy.
Where did you all drive from?
Right, okay, so Adam is coming from Birmingham.
Yes.
I'm coming from Kendal, Cumbria.
Right.
Janci and Andris coming from London.
Right, so welcome once again, because you've been to the very first Gobe Fest back in 2017. So thank you very much for coming again. Today is an extra special day because us Hungarians will be, well, tomorrow, but the celebrations have already started for the 15th of March, which is the biggest national holiday of the Hungarian nation, where Hungarians around the world commemorate the freedom fighters of the 1848 uprising and revolution. And we also, today is also extra special because we are remembering and celebrating the biggest heroes of all, which are our mothers. So happy Mother's Day. Drága édesanyám, kellemes anyák napját kívánok neked, and everybody else's moms as well. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome one more time the FOLKTONE Band. Can you tell me a little bit about your journey as a band since you started out in 2013?
Shall I try to probably speak to this direction? Yeah, so I think nothing happens just for no reason, so I think we were just meant to meet. We're all Hungarians and we all live in the UK already for several years, myself for 12 years actually. And first me and Tamás, who's going to play today viola and drum, with pleasure. We met first and started to play together, and very quickly I think we found a musical language which we thought, this is a common language, we need to build on it. And then a couple of weeks, months later, András arrived to the UK. And because those two, Tamás and András, already knew each other and they played together, we thought, why don't we try the three of us? And then we met also Janci, János, a couple of years later.
Like it was meant to be. And you have been like the musical ambassadors of the Hungarian culture and the culture of the entire Carpathian Basin, I think. So tell me a little bit, Ludwig Folk Beethoven, what is the inspiration behind today's performance?
Yeah, so probably some people are wondering what on earth could that be. So today what you're likely to hear, we don't really know what you expected, but what you're likely to hear, obviously everybody knows Ludwig van Beethoven's name in the classical music world and in world music as well, probably. I found many years ago, when I was still a student in Toronto, in a music library, I found 12 duets by check that out, Hungarian composer and gypsy violin virtuoso János Bihari, who was a contemporary of Beethoven. Bihari was born in 1764, Beethoven in 1770, and they died in the same year, 1827. So I thought it's quite fascinating, and we are going to explore Beethoven's music, a possible influence maybe from street music, from gypsy virtuosos and other street music. Also, we're gonna explore a little bit János Bihari's music. I found the music of printed sheets of 12 duets for 2 violins. We know that he couldn't read or write music, so someone else must have written down. And so we are going to explore some of those melodies. How do they live in today's folk tradition, folk melodies? Some of his tunes, he wrote more than 40, I believe. Some of his tunes are still being played, maybe a little bit different version, but it's still being played up till today in the Carpathian Basin.
Very exciting. I'm really looking forward to your performance. And I think Tamás is going to be showing you all some dance steps as well, right? Can we expect some dancing? I will be dancing back in the control room over there, in the studio control room. And you guys at home, your job, remember, it's really, really hard for musicians to perform to no audience. They're used to, even in a TV setting that we were just talking, weren't we, that there's usually an audience there. So I would like you to do as many likes and comments as possible, and I'm going to be, at the end, and questions too, at the end I'm going to bring those comments in here and let the band know. So make sure you're clapping in your own style in this kind of virtual fashion. Thank you very much. Enjoy the show and enjoy your performance. Looking forward to it. Take care.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Ottilia. I think then it's probably time that we're going to play a little bit of music.
Play.
Shall we?
Yes.
Great.
Go for it. Play.
So the other inspiration of this of today's program, I'm hoping I'm looking to the right direction. Is this where you expect me to do so? Okay, great. just you see how hard it is when you don't have a proper live audience. Yes. So the connection and the influences between Hungarian and folk music, we know that actually for a long time, that they both definitely have influences on each other. One of a very popular melody in the Carpathian Basin was actually originally written by Hector Berlioz, who wrote Damnation of Faust, and that big opera oratorio has the Rákóczi March, of which melody every little village in Transylvania they would play a different version up till today. So it's interesting. This is something was imported from classical music straight into folk music. As well as, of course, the other way around, there's some folk music which influences classical music. That's what probably we are going to connect a little bit today. So the greatest of all masters will be Bach, Johann Sebestyen Bach. So we're going to connect Bach's music with a couple of dances from Transylvania, from the area called Kalotaszeg. Yes, hello everyone. So you just heard Bach's music for solo violin, it's Adagio in G minor, and a set of dances from Kolotoseg from Transylvania, which even brought a little bit of experience of Let's Dance, what Tamás was very kindly agreed to demonstrate. We are going to then a little bit discover who is János Bihari, who is this guy, what did he do? As I mentioned, Bihari was born in 1764 in a family where his musical talent showed at a very early age, particularly for music in general and particularly for the violin. He became very quickly virtuoso violinist. He founded his own band of 4 violins and a cimbalom, which is the equivalent of a dulcimer, this instrument here what János is playing today. Bihari had a very quick career. He became actually a nobleman. He had servants, but unfortunately in 1824 he injured his hands. He couldn't play anymore properly, and of course he lost that obviously income as well as reputation. So he actually died in Budapest in a very, very poor state in 1827, the same year where Beethoven also died. About Bihari's music, he's also the father of the verbunkos music in the Hungarian-speaking area. What does that mean? The verbunk is a recruiting dance. Maybe Tamás can help me with a couple of words. What is so typical? What is the characteristics of a verbunk, a recruiting dance?
Oh, right. Well, it's easy to understand. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, there. Am I talking there? That's the task. Okay, so probably the easiest way to understand the Werbung would be that the aim of the Werbung would be for soldiers to make the army more popular. Therefore, they would march around the country with dance and music and try to recruit more and more new soldiers to good causes. That's it.
Thank you very much, Tamás. As Ottilia mentioned earlier, please let the comments and questions come to us. There is, I believe, several different ways. Probably just simply type your comments around the closest possible place where you can make comments, and Ottilia will certainly be following, answering them. If not, maybe immediately towards the end of the program, there certainly will be time for questions and question and answers. We'll try our absolute best to answer all of them. So János Bihari wrote the 12 duets for 2 violins I mentioned earlier. This was written by somebody else down. And interestingly enough, so I found this music in Canada, but actually this is an edition from Amsterdam, logically speaking. So I found it also quite interesting, the international sort of connection. So I'll play now first the melody which Bihari wrote, which is a quite popular recruiting dance, and we are going to pair it up with a recruiting dance of Verbunk from northeast Hungary's Szatmár region, a Verbunk how it sounds today. Thank you very much. You just heard Bihari's A minor recreating dance of Verbung, and then we played right away, connected a Verbung, how it sounds today at the Satmar region. This is northeast Hungary. Shall we maybe demonstrate another melody which Bihari wrote? This is also part of the 12 violin duets. This is number 12 actually, and we are going to play after that some other Transylvanian village called Szék. We are going to play some music from there, which in character we think is quite related to the Bihari piece. Thank you very much. That was János Bihari's two violin duet number 12 in D major. And also we played, connected some fast lads dance from Transylvania, from the village called Szék. Let's go back a little bit in time, and we thought maybe it would be interesting to see the roots and the past of these dances, of these characters. We have in the Carpathian Basin, Moldovan dances are very popular up till today, I believe. And although we don't really, I mean, there's different kind of formations. Today what we can and what we will do here is violin, dulcimer, double bass, and of course a drum with a cowbell. A tapan actually, to be quite correct, yes. We are going to play some Moldovan dances, 3 different ones I believe. And they go back in time quite far. We are talking about Middle Ages or rooted in the Middle Ages time dances. Anything else if you want to add, Tamás? Or you just can't wait to play the drum? Yeah, I see. Thank you very much. You heard 3 Moldovan dances with very, very old roots, possibly back to the Middle Ages. Our next station would be in time, or our next stop would be dances originated and formed in the Renaissance era. I think I'm going to again ask Tamás maybe to tell us just a couple of hints why these dances are called jumping dances.
Oh, well, the hint is in the name. There are a lot of jumping involved. It is a 2/4, very really, really jumpy dance. Not many other things going on actually.
Thank you, Tamás, for all the details you shared with us. I'm sure everybody is very happy and feels enlightened in this matter. We are going to play then 3 jumping dances from southeast Hungary called Salford in Hungarian. Shall we? Thank you very much. There was 3 jumping dances with possibly Renaissance connections from south east Hungary. Our next set of dances would also relate to classical music in a way. We will be moving on to the Baroque era and talking about actually a Baroque typical suite in classical music. Let's just stay with a name which is surely known to everybody in a Bach suite. It would have 6 movements, a preludium and an allemande, a courant, which is either faster or less faster and not so fast courants, a minuet or a gavotte or maybe a bourrée, and at the end there would be sorry, I forgot about the saraband before. And then the very last movement would be a jig, most likely. This would be the classical or typical classical Baroque era suite. Now it has actually its equivalent. Dance experts call this the peasant Baroque. We find these dances in Transylvania at the area of Mureș or Maros. I think again we're going to call and ask Tamás, our dance expert. It's just to say that Tamás graduated from the Dance Academy in Budapest, so he is really someone who knows about the dances. Would you tell us why these are different dances than the ones we just played, the jumping dances?
Oh, I'll tell you at the end. We are yeah, the dances look very different. I really wish we could show you more. And I really hope that after the lockdown we could all get together in Britain, in Hungary, wherever you are. We can find you, and we can organize some dance houses or ceilidhs, Hungarian ceilidhs, wherever you are, and we can show you more of these dances I obviously would, in order to be able to perform some of these dances from Vajda Szentivanya, I would need a couple, a pair, a lady probably, because most of these dances would be coupled dances and not solo dances, as opposed to the first dance from Kalotaszeg, which was the last dance, obviously. So yeah, hope to see you very, very soon live, and we can do some more dances together.
Great, thank you, Tomasz. So we are going to play now 5 dances from the area of Maros or Muras. This is specifically from the village of Vajda Szentivanya. First is going to be a verbunk, again, a recruiting dance, quite a fast one actually in this case. We're going to have a turning dance, a csárdás. Of course, we haven't talked about the csárdás, but there's no decent set of dances in the Hungarian-speaking area unless it includes some sort of a csárdás. So the third dance is going to be a csárdás. Fourth one is a mongrel dance. Don't ask me why it's called, but this is the official Google and lexical translation. And the last one is a fast, they call it a gypsy csárdás, so a fast csárdás dance. Dances from Vajda Szentivanya. much. There was 5 dancers from Transylvania, from the village of Vajdasantiván, representing, reflecting the classical genre was suite. We played 5 movements instead of 6 today of this village's dances. And now probably back to János Bihari, the Hungarian gypsy violin virtuoso, who wrote those 12 violin duets. And one of them is actually probably his most famous melody, and is being played in different places on the Hungarian-speaking area up till today. Maybe not note by note the same, actually, not really, but it's definitely the same melody. So maybe we're going to show you, we chose two different villages or areas, counties for today. One of them is going to be quite northern part of former Hungary. Today this area is to be found in Slovakia. We're going to play some music from the county of Gömör, as well as we'll show you Bihari's original version. Thank you very much. There was a couple of short dances from the county of Gömör, and also showed you one of the probably the most famous melody which Bihari supposedly composed. And now you are going to hear another version later. We just thought we would nicely pace it out. We know certainly that as Beethoven lived most of his life in Vienna, he certainly heard lots of different music as long as he could hear. Different music on the street, and some of this music surely influenced his own music, his own compositions, even something so profound and complete like the violin concerto. So one of the themes in the third movement, which is a rondo form, so it's always there's a rondo theme, let's call it A, which will always have a different section coming after, so it's an A, B, A, C, A, D form. And one of these middle sections has, although it's a 6/8, not a strict 3/4 like a waltz, we thought it could have been actually even a waltz in the streets of Vienna. If you imagine yourself walking around, you might have heard something like this on the streets. And of course, other kind of urbanized music, so we're not talking about traditional folk music, could have also and probably did influence Beethoven and other composers, certainly Liszt later. If you imagine, maybe we just simply invite you to imagine yourself to being in a nice cafe house or a hotel's nice restaurant in Budapest, and you would have a gypsy band. So we're talking about urbanized gypsy music, not traditional folk music. However, the instruments would be in this case quite similar. violin, viola, double bass, and a dulcimer or cymbalum. So we thought maybe we demonstrate just a little bit what that sort of music is like, the sort of a gypsy band, playing urbanized music. Thank you very much. You heard two slow and fast Chardash from the urbanized style, which most of the times you hear in restaurants, hotels, other touristic places. Now maybe back to Bihari and see what happened after Bihari, what his legacy was really. As a gypsy, Hungarian gypsy virtuosic violinist or virtuoso violinist, he certainly put his name down. And then generations after, he inspired lots of other musicians who actually came up either with the folk tradition or with the urbanized music, and sort of created the brand of virtuosos, il virtuosi, if we want to borrow Italian expression. We thought maybe we would show you a couple of virtuoso fast dances from the area of Kalataszeg in Transylvania. So we're gonna play three of those. Sorry. Thank you very much. You heard a couple of gypsy fast dances from the area of Kalotaszeg in Transylvania. Let's jump to Beethoven again and see how his music can be just paired up with some Transylvanian within that actually from Kalotaszeg region, Werbung. There is no thematical connection, we just feel the sort of musical connection. It's going to be Beethoven's Rondo written for violin, written for piano originally, and then we're going to play the Werbung from Transylvania. Thank you very much. You heard a short quotation from Beethoven's Rondo for piano and then a Transylvanian recreating dance Werbung from the region of Kalotaszeg. We slowly are getting, I think, towards the end of our program where we will be playing, but we're still very much looking forward to hear back from you. Comments, questions, all welcome. We all will try our best to answer them ourselves, the musicians, and Ottilia, of course, our dear host. We're going to play just one more set of music, which will include one of Bihari's famous melody. The melody goes like this, what he wrote. Now I'm going to transpose it to A minor. We played this earlier actually in the key of D, and we played dances from Gömer area. And now it's going to be from the region of Szatmár. This is northeast Hungary. And the melody by now transformed itself to something like this. Now, usually this would be quite a fast part of the set of dances. So we are going to maybe play just a little bit of a couple of slower csárdás. Of course, as we mentioned, there's no decent set of dances in the Hungarian-speaking area unless if it includes a csárdás. We're going to have a slow song at the beginning and then going to csárdás and the fast csárdás, including the Bihari melody. very much. You've heard Satyr dances from Szatmár region, northeast of part of Hungary. And now probably I think we'll give back the word for Ottilia to hear if you've got some questions or any inquiries.
We haven't got any questions. We've got so many applauses and likes and wonderful comments from everybody. As Junior Designer, wonderful music. Nagyon jó fiúk. Jár a lábam az asztal alatt. Thank you for playing. I was born in the UK, but my heart is in Hungary. I'm rushing because they're running out of batteries too. So 1 second, there is somebody that says my 3-year-olds love it. She's dancing. That's Victoria. Kérünk György Farvit is, ha lehetne, köszönjük.
That's Konkati. I think.
Jasko Marci.
Okay.
For him, we really should.
How nice it would be to sit in a cafe somewhere in Budapest. Mátyás Pince, Maria Chambers has said, superek vagytok. Later, can somebody post a link to find out more about your events?
That's good.
Imádom. I love that you clearly enjoy making music as much as we enjoy listening to it.
Are you skipping all the bad ones?
There aren't any bad ones. Somebody was listening from Canada, somebody was listening from Oklahoma as well. It was absolutely wonderful, guys. It really, really, truly was beautiful to hear live music again. I was emotional in the back. I was dancing with my feet as well. But so was everybody else. There were no specific questions as such. But I think everyone really enjoyed it. And your commentary was absolutely fantastic, I think. I've got sharer syndrome now. I was busy sharing, but so were a lot of people. So you had quite a few viewers and lots of applauses. So I would like to, and with the team in the back, we can give you a big round of applause. And I would like to also give a big round of applause to the team. We've got Csaba Wojtek, who is the cinematographer and the cameraman, who set up all these cameras everywhere. I'm in the right place? Yeah. And we've got Lorien Edwards, who is the sound engineer who set up all the sound. So great job. And also in backstage we have Boroka Szabó, who's also got sharer syndrome. So thank you, Boroka. Thank you to everybody listening today and watching today. I'm glad that you've enjoyed it as much as I have in the back. Also, happy Mother's Day to everybody, all mothers around the world. Hope you enjoyed the music. And also, I've got my phone because for the next show in 2 weeks' time, we have Manchester International Roots Orchestra, and they're going to be playing a mixture of sounds. So for our March recording, we'll have 6 musicians. They're going to have 6 musicians and a mixture of original Balkan, Roma and Middle Eastern sounds put together by the Manchester International Roots Orchestra. And the Manchester International Roots Orchestra is a unique ensemble of musicians with roots from across the world, including refugee musicians. And our music brings together the different musical influences of all of our musicians to create something really special. And it's interesting because it's led by Michael Kretsu. Michael Kretsu is a double bass player, a Romanian Roma double bass player whose family has centuries history in music. And we both come from the same country, different cultures. He's Romanian and Hungarian. We both of us have been in Manchester for the last 30 years, and we've only met through Gobe Fest in the last couple of years, even though Manchester Music City, music family is quite small. So, small world, we're always meeting our cousins in music. And as Bartók says, all our influences, musical influences are so connected and interlinked. Which takes me on to ask you guys again, what is, because you've got a very interesting project coming up, which links to this theme that I was just talking about. What's next for you?
I'm not really sure to know which event you mean. I know that tomorrow morning I
So,
will have to play symphonic music in Birmingham. That's the next project.
Yeah, that's
We'll need to talk to you about your Found in Translation project.
Not lost in translation,
Yeah.
but found in translation.
Oh yes, this is definitely something we've been talking about for years with Tamás. and the more music and more type of music, the more languages in music you speak. For instance, my newest project for myself and for other occasions is to play Scottish traditional music. But also, all these things are connected as we actually try to show maybe just scratch the surface of it, how Beethoven and classical music would be influenced by folk music, how folk music would be influenced by classical and other world music. I find this fascinating and find the little connections, because this is what actually brings us all people on this globe together.
Totally, and it's beautiful. That's exactly what Gobe Fest is about as well. So hopefully we can welcome you for the audience to see you live at this year's Gobe Fest one more time. Be amazing. So really looking forward to that, and perhaps you can do a mixture of this performance as well as found in translation, which is exactly what we're about. And also I had in the last couple of concerts, we've had people who are jungleists, electronic musicians, who are also finding the connections as well. So
fabulous.
They're absolutely loving it, you know.
So many people are trying to find more connections. We should all get together in one place, and that's going to be on you to organize something where we all can get together and share our found elements.
Passion for music.
Yeah.
And connect. Yeah, that's what we're about, is connecting. So thank you one more time. Thank you to the team. And thank you for watching one more time, and see you in 2 weeks' time here in the Wood Rooms.